Give me all you've got if you're prepared to break the silence. I'll be out in the sunshine, running beside the lions. I've been feeling down, but I've been looking.
Hello, welcome back to WINFXTRADING YouTube channel, the only channel that has been optimized to make you rich trading the Forex synthetic market. In today's video, I'm going to show you something that's going to change your life in Forex trading. If this is your first time of visiting this channel, do your best to subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you get notified each time I upload a new content. Try to refer your networks to this channel so that YouTube pushes us to a high level of audience. In today's video, we shall dive into this topic: how to trade forward direction of news, Forex, gold, and US30, etc. Okay, before I go into the practicability of this onto the MT5 chart, we shall actually be reading the document. So this goes like this: know the price action or swing system in 15 minutes time frame before the news happens. Trade in the direction of the price action regardless. You have to trade in the direction of the price action regardless of the news outputs. If the news is going to be positive and you go long on that trade, on that asset, then you are going to succeed. You are going to make massive profit. But if the news is going to go negative and you still go long and the trade, you're gonna lose. But if you go short, you're gonna profit. So the chances of succeeding is higher on your side. All you need to do is to be consistent. Always trade in the direction of original price action. That's all. If the news reverse the market against you, or if the news trade against the price action, you will just lose for that moment. The news will not always make you lose. If you are consistent with this idea, if you always trade in the direction of price action, you will have 75 to 90% of profiting in this news event. Okay, so let me continue on the document. Place your SL about the open of last M15 candle before the news. Okay, the last M15 candle, check where it opened. Place your stop loss about it. Okay, this time you have infinity risk reward. Okay, don't trade reverse news direction. Never you reverse news direction. Once news has happened, don't trade against the news. It doesn't make sense. You might succeed today, tomorrow you won't. So it has 100% probability of losing. Okay, wait for reaction to EMA 50, 100 or 200 loop. Okay, it's a loop, so we need price to react inside that loop, like to touch all the moving averages, 50, touch 100, touch 200, and then follow the M15 news candle direction. So in this is actually trying to help you continue the news direction. Let's assume you couldn't place the trade before the news and then you want to enter when the news happened. Then you need to wait for price action to react to the loop of EMA 50, 100 and 200, and then you trade in the direction of the M15 news candle. So that candle that show the news event, you are going to trade in the direction. So if the candle is bearish, you are going to be selling. If the candle is bullish, you are going to be buying. Take first profit at close of M15 candle. Whether you are continuing or you enter the trade before the news event, you are going to take your first profit at the close of M15 candle and hold other position to the price action hit dead zone. The dead zone, you will see it in the M, or you can see it in the H1 or the H4 time frame. These are the area where the market have 100% probability to reverse. That's where you are going to take your profit. Okay, now before I go to the MT5 chart to start practicability of this idea, it is assumed that you have created a separate trading account for news. You should have an account entitled news account. This account should be dedicated for trading news, and the idea is you should have a general account or a kind of universal account. This universal account is where you apply your proper risk management, where you are highly disciplined with about 100% discipline ability, where you cannot trade anyhow. Okay, and from this account you can transfer money to other careless accounts, because this news account is careless stuff. Okay, the news can go against you, so all you need to do is to risk 5 to 10% of your universal account, meaning that if you have $5,000 in your universal account, then calculate 5% of the $5,000, that is $250. Transfer the $250 to your news account. If you lose it, you know that with proper risk management you are going to recover that in your universal account. So your universal account, you shouldn't use it to trade news event. You shouldn't use it to trade without proper planning and risk management. So you have to do this for you to like have a high statistical edge. Okay, because even though you apply stop loss on the news, okay, we apply stop loss on the news, but most time you want to actually take advantage of the news. So the idea is to further reduce the risk. Maybe you can risk 1 to 5% of your equity, so that you can actually, because the stop loss peep in the news event is small, and then that will present a big loss size. So you're actually risking all the money you have transferred to the news account. So if you transfer $50, basically you want to risk this $50. So let's assume you give it, I'm going to go to calculator and show you something. Let's assume we are trading gold, for instance, and you want to risk 2 points on gold. Let me show you an example on gold before I go to calculator. Okay, you can see that the footprint of news events are clear. Just look in the vicinity. You are looking for you are searching for the largest M15 candle, because the first M15 candle that is largest in the vicinity of other candle signals the news event. The last NFP that happened, I may not be able to locate it, but I can use the momentum nature of news candle to locate that. This is 15 minutes time frame. Okay, now if you look on this 15 minutes time frame, I just want to see what is happening here. Let's go to H4. Let's go to H4. You can also spy that, like you can spy it in the H4 time frame. You can see this candle. This resembles a news candle, so I'm going to map it. So in the H4, we notice that the market is making higher highs. So you should be buying before the news, or if the news happen and go bullish, then you wait for retracement to the moving EMA loops, as I stated in the document, and then you continue the upward direction. But if it does the opposite against the price action, then you have to face the news accordingly. Okay, one of the disadvantages of trading before the news happens is that most time the news can go against you, but it depends on what you want. But I prefer maybe having different account for news trading. So I have news trading account 1 and news trading account 2. In the account 1, I will be actually trading before the news happen. I want to take this risk. Or in account 2, I wait for the news to happen and allow the market to retrace to the moving average loops, so that I can trade in the direction of the M15 candle that signals the news. Okay, so now I'm going to go to 15 minutes time frame, because 15 minutes time frame is the standard time to understand the news event. So the last candle, you can see the last candle before the news event starts is this candle, because if you look in the vicinity, the largest candle that signals this news is this candle. So the last candle will be this candle, right? So I'm going to put my stop loss below this last candle, because this is the opening of the candle. So I'm going to put my stop loss here. So in other words, I'm entering this trade as this candle is acting or is still active, and then I'll place my stop loss below here. That is 3 points or 3 pips. Okay, now these 3 pips, if I have already deposited $50, let's say 1% of my universal account, let's say I have $5,000, that is $50. Then if I want to trade before the news happen, then I'll have to go to calculator. Let's go and see. Right now I'm going to risk the $50. Right now the formula to calculate the loss size is the amount in dollar that you want to risk, and you are going to divide it by the product of the stop loss pip, which is around 3 point something, let's put it 3.5 basically, and then the pip value, which is $100, because I actually don't want to read gold in conventional sense of reading, like I don't want to read the p value of gold in the conventional sense, rather I read it in terms of points. So because I read it in terms of points, the p value of gold is just $100, but for other creators the p value of gold can be $10, and then for you to get the p value, the number of pips, then you have to multiply the points by 10, which I don't want to do. It's just the same thing. So here we actually have 0.14 lot size. Okay, so when we trade the 0.14 lot size and we hold this trade until the news day dies off, until the close of the news day, because you have to allow the news day to close, or you look for key level where market is likely going to reverse, you discover that we actually was able to generate about 22 pips or points. Okay, if you go to H4, you notice that there is high probability for market. Let's see what really happened here. Yeah, you can measure this line, you can mark this line. You can see that there is high chances that market will reverse here, and that's what happened. It started reversing after it gets some liquidity grab and fake out. It starts reversing based on input output strategy. It will have to reverse because this is an input. To every input here we have an output of a sell signal. So when the buyers drive market, the buyers are input to this area, we also expect a sell signal. That's why you need to enroll for my courses. Boom and Crash Millionaire course is actually active. I basically treat input and output trading strategy on Boom and Crash course, and every other course I offer. Basically I emphasize on Boom and Crash because actually that is one of the courses that are making a lot of my followers or subscriber millionaires in this 2023 and beyond, and you have to enroll for this course for your life to change automatically. Okay, you can see that why taking the news trade somewhere here, and we are trying to take our profit here because of the input output event happening here, and so we generate around 24 pips or 22 to 24 pips. So let's use the upper limit of 22 pips, 24 pips, and I'll be going back to calculator to see what really happened. So we are operating 14 lot size, 0.14 lot size on 22 pips, and then we are working on it on a kind of $100, like the pip value, because the profit is the lot size upon the pip, the take profit pips, and then the pip value. Okay, so we have taken our $50 to what, $308 actually trading the news event. Okay, so this is just a kind of a small investor, a kind of a broker, like trying to make some money in this game. But what if you're a wealthy person that actually can risk around 10 times of what an average or a kind of poor person risk? Let's say you are super rich and you want to make more profit as a trader, and then you should have risks 100 times of, okay, basically you risk 10 times of this, or let's say 20 times of this. So we are going to multiply this by 20, so you are making over $6,000 plus. The more you risk, the more you make more money. But the thing is, you don't risk more than one, let's say 1%, more than 1 to 5%, or let's say more than 1 to 10% of your universal account. Okay, so you cut your load according to your size. Okay, I don't want to talk too much. It's like I'm teaching someone something that I'm not supposed to do, because this video, I'm going to privatize this video after 1 week, because this is a Patreon based content. As I've been saying in other videos, they are going to be privatized, and then you have to become a Patreon level subscriber for you to be able to keep watching. You know, it's worth it because you can also see it's worth it. I just use all my energy and time to get the idea, so you have to pay for it. Okay, but basically you can join my VIP signals and make money in real time, or enroll for my courses if you don't like patrons. Okay, or patron based subscriptions. So let's look for GBP USD and see if we can get a bearish news event like the one that leads to selling event, sell signals, and see how far we can go. Let's go there. I will say GBP USD on the daily time frame, and I will be looking for a bearish super candle, highly momentum driven candle that actually signal a news event, and that will step down to M15 time frame to see how we should have staged for this event. Okay, let's see if it's possible to see an NFP event that happened back then. Okay, this is one. This could be an NFT, but I want the one that will match price action, so that when you see the one that didn't match price action, you also face it accordingly. Okay, so the one that didn't match price action is the one you should be enjoying when you wait for the news to happen, and then you notice it actually traded against the price action, so you face it squarely and you trade in the direction of the news as well. But if there is a kind of supporting a kind of modulation whereby the news signal modulates, like have a positive modulation with the price action, there is resonance signal. The signal is resonating and is very massive and highly profitable, but whereby the price action signal have a negative modulation with the news. Though you are trading in the direction of the news, but know that your risk appetite should reduce. You should risk low, because the price action can actually overtake the news signal, and price action is the highest, like is what you should actually obey. But once news violates it, then you have to trade that news in the direction of the news, but try to reduce risk, because that is a high risk environment. So here I'm looking for, in fact I'm actually looking for any type of news, whether it is against price action or it is for price action. So let's see. I think that will, to make everything easy to understand. So here I need, like, where there are a series of candles and then we have a big candle in the vicinity, like a surprising candle that has not ever happened before. Yeah, I see one. This is it. This type of candle has not happened before, so this could represent an NFP news or CPI. So here I'm going to the 15 minutes time frame to locate this wherever it is, and I'm going, remember, in the higher time frame the market is already downtrend. Check where in the daily the market is basically downtrend in this area. So I will, because it's making lower lows and lower highs, so I will just go back to 15 minutes time frame and track this area. Basically, once I track it, I can be able to tell you how you should have traded this before the news or after the news. So let's go. It seems that this is not actually coming, but we can step up to 30 minutes time frame so that we can locate this. We step to 30 minutes, because the news you see in 15 minutes can still be modeled in 30 minutes. So we can, okay, we see this, okay, we see this. I basically need the left side of this, because that is where we can locate our stuff. Let's go to 1 hour time frame. I need the left side of this. I need the left side. Yeah, okay, the most left side. Yeah, see the most left side. So here we're on a 1 hour time frame. We can still model the news. We are looking for that candle that represents the news in 1 hour time frame. So what is that candle? What basically is that candle? I can say the candle that represents this news is this one. Okay, you can see this is the news candle where the market was on a downtrend. So the news have a positive modulation with the price action. So the candle before the news is this candle. All I need to do is to ask myself, am I trading before the news? If I'm trading before the news, this is where I'm placing my stop loss, and I'll be selling within the time this candle is at in this one, then I'll be selling. So basically I'm entering here and I'm risking around multiply this point by 10,000. That is I'm basically risking 5.4 pips. Okay, 5.4 pips. Then I'm targeting the end of the day, maybe the day end here, or the key level where the news are likely going to reverse. So I'll be ending here. I'll be taking my profit here, and if you check, this is around 465. If you multiply this number by 10,000, what are you going to see? Is basically huge. This is 465 pip. Let's go to calculator and check the result. Okay, but before I go, let's check the validity of where our first TP or our TP is gonna lump. Why should we lump our TP here? Let's go to the weekly time frame. Is there any probability of reversibility here? Okay, do we have? Okay, we don't have, but at least with your moving average setup, when you see price doing some kind of things or trying to change direction against the current direction of the moving averages, then you know that it's changing direction and then you have to close your trade. I think I've said it in the document. Once the first 15 minutes of the news candle closes, you can take your first profit and trade your stop loss to your entry. Or if you are entering after the news, then you wait for retracement to the moving average loop, which I'm going to show you once I go to my moving averages, and then you are going to take the trade. Okay, I'm going to try to get that. You are actually taking that trade in 15 minutes time frame if you are doing it after the news. Okay, then if you are doing it before the news, it's still 15 minutes time frame. Why I'm upgrading to other time frame is because of the viewability, so I can actually see what I'm trying to locate in the past. Okay, so right now maybe it starts, if you go to lower time frame, 15 minutes time frame, maybe the market starts right now against the moving average. Let's say you have taken your first profit after the close of the first 15 minutes candle, or after the market retraces and then you trade in the direction of the news, which is selling, then you take your profit as price reacts to the close of the 15 minutes candle. So we can actually do this thing in this time frame, whereby this is the candle that represent the news, and then you are trading after the news. Then so let's assume that here we see a retracement to if you go to 15 minutes time frame, you know that this retracement will be quick. So you see retracement to the news and to the moving average loop, which I'm going to show this later when I go to moving average, and then you are going to sell here, and then you put your stop loss at the open of the candle, the last candle before the news happened, somewhere here, and then you are taking your profit basically at the close of this. But unfortunately it didn't reach, it ended up here. So that's why you should, once it become profit, clear your entry. That is the very most important thing. It's better to make no profit than to lose your equity, because there are other days that are coming for the news. There are other news that are coming. Okay, the news doesn't end. Okay, so you see, when I measure this, we have around 0. Let's take here, this is the close of the first 15 minutes candle, the news candle. So this will be our take profit, so 0.04246. so I'm going to calculate to check the peak. 0.04246, 0.04246. So 0.04246 multiplied by 10,000, because I'm not using point this time around, I'm using PIP, the conventional way of calculating PIP. So For GBP/USD, the P value is $10. Okay, so we have 424.6 people. While we are risking around 5 point something stop loss people, and maybe call it 5.6 or 5.5. So for well, let me copy this. So we're gonna paste this and then we divide by 5.5. So the risk reward is 1:77.2, meaning that whatever you risk, you get 7.2. I've done a video about zero infinity risk reward, which is actually applicable to news trading. You can search the video on YouTube. You may not get it because soon I'll be privatizing the video, so you have to understand what you are doing. So 7.2, let's say you risk $50, you are making $3,860 plus, and you risk $100, you are making over $7,000, and you risk $200, you are making over $15,000. You see, this idea is going to be limited based on your leverage. What if the broker does not allow you to use certain loss size? Because basically the loss size you should be using will be, you know how to calculate the loss size. Basically, let's assume you have let's use a standard of $100 account, and then you are going to divide it by the stop loss P 5.5 and then multiply by 100 10, because that's the P value for GBP/USD. Okay, so you are using 1.8. Okay, so using 1.8 will actually limit your $100. Okay, using 1.8, yeah, this is the loss side you're going. So the some broker SNES, the link is in the description of this video, will allow you to use up to 200 loss size. So this is allowable, it's within the limit of the loss size acceptable. Okay, so that's cool, unless you reduce the the stop loss pip to something like 1, then 10 loss size. So depending on your equity, some broker will not allow you to use certain loss size on a given equity. All you need to do is to know your leverage. If you have unlimited leverage, then you can do undoable. That are condition for unlimited leverage on SNES. You can check down the description of this video and sign up with SNES, and then try to obey those conditions. Try to set your account into unlimited, and they will tell you that you should do so things. Then make sure you do that so that you can literally take advantage of news and be rich. Basically, if you are actually having this unlimited leverage and you are able to have one stop loss pips, let's say you have 3 trading accounts and you say, on this account I'm gonna use one stop loss pip, that means you are using zero infinity risk level. Now, or if anything less than, let's say 0.5, that is 20 lots. Now you have a $100 account. Now you are operating 20 lot size on 420, if I could remember that peak value, 426, and then on the peak value. Basically, you have taken your $100 to $85,000 plus on a unlimited leverage. What if the next day there is a news event, and then you are going to be working with this account and you are going to basically risk 1 pip, and then now you risk 1 pip and you are risking the whole of this account because you actually want to sacrifice this. Whatever it happens, let it happen. Now you basically have about $85,000 plus, and you are dividing it by the stop loss pip, which is 1, and the stop loss, the pip value, which is this. So basically you'll be using 8,500 loss size, which SNES will not allow you. I don't think, if actually unlimited leverage, they will allow you definitely for unlimited leverage, because you can use this. But that could be broker that may not allow you to do that. Then you have to use the maximum acceptable by your broker to achieve this profit. If you know what it means to lose money, you should be happy to make profit as well. Maybe you haven't actually suffered in the Forex market, but we have to tell you this, that if you have any strategy that will help you reap broker or even make broker go broke, you have to do that. A lot of people have committed suicide in this game because of a lot of losses, and WINFXTRADING is out to optimize the number of winners, of profit makers in the Forex market to like more than 50%. Like this adage of 10% are only succeeding will stop. Okay, so this, you see that you basically, if you actually try to use 8,500 lot size, and then you basically operating on the same pip value, let's say 424 pip. It's possible if you are getting it today, you can get it tomorrow, and then you operate this. You have taken your $100 to a couple of $360 million, and that's crazy. That's crazy. It's very, very I just want to upgrade this secret, but this video will be going back to patron level, because I'm leaking a lot of secret, but it's like crazy. But I have to do this. I have to do this. Okay, so I'll be ending this video because it's taking much of my time. This video, I will privatize it so that only those that are ready to understand what I'm saying will be able to have access to it. Because once you become a patron, because I have some patrons, you have to subscribe and make payment for you to have access to those videos. That's patron. That's what we mean by patron. But if you think you want to watch it for free, then you will not have access to it, because after 1 week privatizing everything, privatizing, you have to work hard. You have to feel the value. You have to feel the pain of what you want to get before you get it. It takes us a lot of stress, a lot of challenges, a lot of war in the background for we to reach to this level, and you have to do that.
You've got, if you're prepared to break the silence,